Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. If you didn't hear the news, August 18th, 2016, statues emerged in some U.S. major cities of Donald Trump in the nude. The one you're looking at is from Manhattan, New York, August 18th. On the bottom of the statue, there's a plaque that reads, "The Emperor has no balls." We're going to talk about what that phrase has to do with Hillary Clinton, but right away think about her being the next president, the next emperor of the United States of America, and having no balls. Also, her and Donald Trump have connections to New York, the Empire State, where this statue was found. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Donald Trump cover of Time magazine for August 22nd, 2016. A few months ago, I said to watch out for this date for a possible staged assassination or another major clue for an assassination to come. This cover right here has some major predictive programming, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about some other Donald Trump headlines, including his 27-day spiral, the possibility of a landslide election, the rumors that the right-wing news organizations such as Fox News and Breitbart are now running his campaign, the resignation of Paul Manafort, and we're going to close with the Kent State massacre, because where Donald Trump is speaking August 22nd is in a building named after the Kent State massacre, which is having its 46-year anniversary this year. Let's begin, though, with the statue. If you zoom in on this statue, there's a ring on the finger of Donald Trump, and that ring is a Freemason compass and square with the G in the middle, the Masonic logo. For the last year, I have been showing how Donald Trump is a Freemason, and each day the headlines scripted around him are scripted by the numbers with the language of gematria, which is a language that the Freemasons work with. So many people are duped into thinking Donald Trump is an outsider. He is a part of the New World Order agenda. He is running to help Hillary become the next president. The word nude, these nude statues popping up. Nude is a word with 44 gematria. Donald Trump is running to be the 44th person to be president, as is Hillary Clinton. Barack Obama's number 44, but he's only the 43rd person because Grover Cleveland counted as 22 and 24. The next person to be president will be the 45th president, but the 44th person. And the thing about 44 is it's a number connected to killing and assassination. The word kill equals 44. Every single president to die in office has died by that number. The first president to die in office died on 4/4, April 4th, just like Martin Luther King Jr. Manhattan in Jewish gematria, where the first statue was reportedly found, has this Jewish gematria of 321, like a countdown. Reminds me of September 11th and the countdown from February 26, 93, when the 93 World Trade Center bombing occurred. If you've never seen my work on that, those dates are perfectly synced up like a countdown. This statue was found in Union Square, having gematria of 55 and 64. Sacrifice has gematria of 46 and 55. We've seen a lot of these numbers next to Donald Trump this year. Born in 46, just like the year Bill Clinton's biological father was murdered, May 17th, 1946. Here's the plaque on the bottom. "The Emperor has no balls. In decline." And you see how they flip the end. The Emperor has no balls has gematria of 226. Earlier this year, I predicted that Tim Kaine would be the vice president of Hillary Clinton because his birthday was February 26th, 2/26. This is an important number to New York and seemingly the Clinton political dynasty, which goes back to the beginning of the country. The first governors of New York were Clintons. George Clinton, the fourth vice president, one of the founders. This number 226, it has a relationship with 93. Think about the February 26th, 2/26, 93 World Trade Center bombing when Bill Clinton first became president and Hillary first lady. The word planet in Jewish gematria sums to 226, and to the occult, the most important planet is Saturn. Saturn, gematria of 93, when you write out 226, it sums to 93. These numbers very much interconnected. They have connections to the Bill Clinton presidency through the 93 World Trade Center bombing. In recent months, I've shown how these numbers show up again and again next to Hillary Clinton. These statues appearing on the date they did, August 18th, that's a date that can be written 18/8. It is in most parts of the world. Bavarian Illuminati in Gematria sums 288. That is the Illuminati Freemasonry network that was established just before the American Revolution, May 1st, 1776, credited with the French Revolution. I don't think it's any coincidence these statues showed up on the date they did, August 18th. It's also the 231st day of the year. 231st day of the year that these statues showed up. Hillary Rodham Clinton in Gematria sums to 231. The emperor has no balls. It's also the date that leaves 135 days left in the year. That number is important to Philadelphia. Philadelphia was established on a date with 135 numerology. The phrase the key of David in Gematria sums to 135. Notice that Hillary's birthday is the day before Philadelphia's. The DNC was in Philadelphia this year. In Revelation, the book of prophecy, the Church of Philadelphia is talked about in regards to the key of David. Again, the key of David has the same gematria as the date of establishment for Philadelphia. Revelation, the book of prophecy, this year the DNC convention began 106 days before the election. The word prophecy equals 106. Been talking a lot about that number as well. With regard to this thing being called the Key of David, Hillary having these connections, all this stuff with prophecy, think about this. Hillary has the same gematria as David, as the same gematria as United States. And to sum this up quickly, the United States of America was created by this Bavarian Illuminati, which is Freemasonry, which is Zionist Jews, a network that has been operating with an agenda for centuries. And part of that agenda was creating the Zionist state of Israel, which they're now expanding. The United States of America is the key of David. That's what it seems. You know, think about the Star of David, the Zionist symbol. That symbol has been on our currency for longer than the Zionist nation has been in existence. And that nation would not exist without the creation of the United States of America and its involvement in the world wars, helping bring about what now is. Hillary Clinton, you know, her and Donald Trump, both big proponents of Israel. They both work for the same bosses. Revelation's the 66th book of the Bible. The word woman equals 66. Hillary's birthday is the day that leaves 66 days left in the year. In Decline, the group at the bottom of the plaque, you know, it had that quote, the emperor has no balls with In Decline. In Decline in Gematria sums to 48 and 75. Donald Trump equals 48. Illuminati equals 48. The Bavarian Illuminati. New World Order equals 75. This is what the New World Order is. These are all aliases. The number 48, it's also connected to 223. 223 is the 48th prime. Masonic equals 223. The Synagogue of Satan, the name from Revelation for the false Jews who will rule in the end times. Also mentioned in regards to the Church of Philadelphia. From the date those statues rolled out until the election is a span of 83 days. The Donald equals 83, election 83, leap year 83, probably why we have our presidential elections in leap years. So with regards to prophecy, this cover for Time, notice the word meltdown with Donald Trump's face melting. This is going to be the Time cover August 22nd. Meltdown sums to 106, just like prophecy, just like destroy. Revelation, the book of prophecies about the destruction of the earth. Donald Trump's going to be in Akron, Ohio on August 22nd. And we're going to talk about where he's going to be speaking, why that's so significant. Time magazine, Time in Gematria sums to 47, just like Ohio, where he's going to be, just like the word president. This might end up being a very important date in the upcoming presidential race. Perhaps Donald Trump won't die on this date, but perhaps a major headline will emerge. You know, somehow another stumbling of sorts. We'll see, But this Time magazine cover right here, in light of what I've been saying about August 22nd for Donald Trump, this is no coincidence. Remember earlier this year I was talking about the parallels between the movie Taxi Driver and Donald Trump, and then just days ago, Robert De Niro comes out and says Donald Trump's the character from Taxi Driver. None of this is coincidence. We are living something that's been planned out long in advance. We're living out a planned agenda. So he's going to be at the James A. Rhodes Arena, the governor during the time of the Kent State Massacre. James A. Rhodes in Gematria sums to 46, just like sacrifice, just like the year Donald Trump was born. Earlier this year, on March 27th, 16, a date with 46 numerology, there was the Trump tombstone found in Central Park. That was Easter Sunday. August 22nd, 16 is also a date with 46 numerology. He's going to be speaking in the arena with the 46 name on a date with 46 numerology, the sacrifice number. That date can be written 22/8, United States of America equals 228, Martin Luther King Jr. equals 228, the only U.S. citizen to have a holiday named after him because of his assassination, his death. The word death in English gematria equals 228. Think about how Black History Month ends on February 28th, except for in leap years. There's this card from the Illuminati Card Game called Hit and Run. It has the number 235 and 666. August 22nd is going to be the 235th day of 2016. 666 is the number for prophecy in Jewish gematria. Hit and Run, the card sums to 46. A clever subscriber pointed out that this reminds them of road rage. Road rage in Jewish gematria also sums to 228. It reminds me that earlier this year there was a story about protesters blocking Donald Trump's path, so he had to get out of his car and have the Secret Service and a pack around him escort him so many blocks. Here's that Trump tombstone from Easter Sunday. It said, "Made America Hate Again." The name of the man where he's speaking, James A. Rhodes Arena. Rhodes alone has gematria of 33, just like secrecy, like masonry, another number connected to sacrifice. JFK murdered in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Freemason on 11/22. 11 plus 22, 33. If you add the arena part onto James A. Rhodes Arena sums to 67, just like blood sacrifice, just like Freemasonry, just like George Washington, the Master Mason, died at age 67 by the numbers. Donald Trump headlines from August 18th, the same day. I regret emphasized, more 46 coding. If you take the whole headline, I regret some things, gematria of 211, the 47th prime number. Again, time 47, Ohio 47, president 47, important number, authority 47. I should have mentioned that the word time in Jewish gematria also sums to 144, a number very much connected to political assassinations. A picture of Donald Trump's face melting on Time magazine. Trump's 27-day spiral, think about 27 Club, all the dead rock stars, put out multiple videos in July of the 27 Club. Majority of those people who died at age 27 had 27th birth numerology. Donald John Trump in gematria sums to 68, the same year his business career began. His tallest building named after him is 68 stories. Trump's 27-day spiral, 68. This is another number connected to death. Caskets go 6 feet deep, are often 8 feet long. 68, the year of the RFK assassination, running for president. MLK, fateful year 68, the year his business career supposedly began. Landslide election, headlines from the other day, August 16th. Landslide election in gematria sums to 163. Just like Make America Great Again, what Donald Trump wears on his red hat, just like Barack Hussein Obama, the current president. Remember, Donald Trump, the birther argument, Barack Obama, birther equals 44. Just like hope, what Obama ran on. Landslide election, the small way, sums to 73, just like Hillary Clinton, just like perfect. If she becomes the next president, she'll finish her first term at age 73. A year ago, I showed that Time magazine article about how Hillary Clinton's the perfect age to be president as a woman. Hillary Rodham's, her maiden name has gematria of 144. If you write out 44, it sums to 144. 44 is a word, sums to 144, just like Hillary Rodham, who might very well be the 44th person to be president. And what it also makes me think of are the 44 kings of Israel. You know, Hillary will be the 45th president by number. She'll be the first female, 44 kings. Maybe that's the new riddle in the U.S. We get 44 men, and then we get our first woman. And if Hillary is the 45th president, you added number 42 for Bill Clinton. 42 plus 45 is 87. Clinton equals 87. Inauguration day is 87 days after her birthday this year. Some other Donald Trump headlines from recently. This is August 17th. Trump enlists right-wing media to lead campaign. Gematria of 193, the 44th prime. This came on a date with 61 numerology, August 17th, 2016. Right wing in Gematria sums to 61. Headlines about him getting this right wing help on a date with fitting numerology when I'm exposing how Donald Trump news is created by the numbers every day. Breitbart sums to 41. It was also a date with 41 numerology. The Andrew Breitbart death, all by the numbers. Who knows if he even really died? I doubt it. You know, he's part of this fraudulent media. So many conservatives think Breitbart's legitimate media. It's not. It's run by the same gang, coded the same way. Paul Manafort just stepped down. What I loved about Paul Manafort and Donald Trump was their names were almost identical in Gematria. Paul the Big Way sums to 50. Donald the Big Way, 50. America equals 50. 50 states. Trump the Big Way, 88. Manafort the Big Way, 88. So Paul, Manafort, Donald Trump both sum to 138. Now Paul Manafort's out. Who's next? I guess it's the right-wing think tank, right? Breitbart News and Roger Ailes. Quick side note. Jill Steen, the Jewish woman who changed her last name, she's just another agent. Most of her rhetoric's on point, but it's just here to mock us. You know, we're not allowed to elect the person with the on-point rhetoric. But Jill Steen, you know, I doubt her heart's really in it anyway. Her name in Gematria that she changed her name to has the same Gematria as president. Jill Steen, 47, president 47. The Big Way, Jill Steen, 110, president 110. Ronald Reagan equaled 110. Ronald Reagan, actor, agent, turned president. 33rd governor before becoming president. Had a fake assassination hoax on him by the numbers. Remember, his assassin, Hinckley, just got released from prison. Earlier this year, I was showing the connections between Hinckley and Trump as well. Then they let him out. All right, so let's close out with Kent State. What happened? This was another incident by the numbers. The governor called in the National Guard. The National Guard ended up shooting a number of students. I think 4 killed, 9 injured, or maybe 9 killed, 4 injured, one of the two. The governor, he went by the name Jim Rhodes, or James A. Rhodes. Jim Rhodes sums to 47, like agent, like authority. This massacre happened 46 years ago in 70. Look at this. The Kent State Massacre. The words Kent State and the name Massacre in Gematria are the exact same. 25, 25. Do it with the exceptions. They both sum to 43. The date it happened, May 4th, 1970, a date with 79 numerology. It happened at Kent State University, which in Gematria sums to 79. The Big Way, the words murder and massacre both sum to 79. A massacre on a date with 79 numerology at Kent State University. Kent State Massacre, a match. This is what's been going on over the years, again and again. In the book that I will put out after the election, I show how all throughout history, all the major shootings, tragedies in this nation's history, all of them that we're aware of have been done this way. Meaning they've all been contrived for agenda, to instill fear, to mislead us. I noticed that Jim Rhodes is born on September 13th. 13/9 Freemasonry equals 139. His full name in Gematria sums to the same thing as Mason. Again, Rhodes, one of those 33 names. The number of Freemason obsession. His birth numerology, he's born on a date with 50 numerology, America 50, Donald 50, Kent State Massacre, the Small Way 50. When he died 193 days from his September 13th birthday, a reshuffling of the numbers 193. 193 is the 44th prime, 44 is the kill number. Jim Rhodes, an agent for the gang, just as Donald Trump is, just as Hillary Clinton is, just as so many people in our government are. And a lot of these people, they meet their deaths by the numbers. I think that's the cost of being an agent. This man was from Columbus, or passed in Columbus. Come back up here. He passed in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus also shares that gematria of 106 like prophecy, like Akron, Ohio. And it reminds me of Christopher Columbus, CC 33, paid for by the Catholic Church, was Jewish. I call Christopher Columbus Freemasonry prophecy. Christopher, the same gematria as Freemasonry. Columbus, the same gematria as prophecy. Columbus, Ohio also has gematria connecting back to the Illuminati. James A. Road Arena also has gematria syncing up with United States and Lorraine Motel, where Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. Remember, Martin Luther King Jr., 228. United States of America, 228. Death, 228. Huey P. Newton died on this day in history, August 22nd. We'll see. We'll see what happens. August 22nd, very close. Seems that something's coming. Show you this other headline from today. I thought this was interesting. What do you have to lose? Trump makes his pitch to African American voters. And what I love about this audience that they show him speaking to, where they call them African American voters, is you can see one gentleman down here who could be African American. You know, and that's another thing Americans do. They see black people and they just assume they're African American. A lot of black people who are in this country now are African. There's a lot of people being brought in from Africa. And Americans, just thinking you call all black people African American, are referring to African people as African American. And if you talk to these African people, they don't like it. I'm aware of this because I used to manage a group home where a lot of the employees were African, out here just north of Seattle. But anyway, this headline's about Donald Trump making his pitch to African Americans, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 out of a predominantly white crowd, you know? The news media routinely does that. Gives us headlines that don't have anything to do with the picture in front of us, telling us what to believe, what to see, instead of letting us use our own eyes. All right, truth seeker. Until next time.